Hello and welcome to Trish Polish. I'm Trish and my goal is to swatch as much of the nail polish in Japan as I possibly can. If that sounds like something you'd also be interested in, please consider subscribing. If not, that's okay too. It's still nice to see you. Okay, so y'all gotta believe me when I tell you that today's video was not originally intended to be a jelly polish video, but yeah, so I was gonna give y'all a jelly polish break, so I guess you could call this an unintentional jelly polishing. An unintentional jellying. Unintentionally jelly. I don't know. Anyway, we're accidentally talking about jellies today. Today we're looking at the first 5 polishes in Pochacco's lineup with Friend Nail, and they just happen to be jelly polishes. Anyway, so Pochacco is this cute little suspiciously snoopy looking doggo, but I'll give you a little bit more information about him as well as polish pricing and availability after the swatches. But first, as I mentioned, we do have 5 polishes to look at today, so let's get into the swatches. First up today we have the shade Prism Violet. This is essentially a warm purple jelly base with a ton of these like iridescent flakies. Now, all of these polishes have a similar formula, so I'm probably going to sound like a broken record on all of these. Anyway, starting off here in the first coat, we can see that the polish is absolutely a jelly polish. It is so sheer, but it still has a tiny bit of color. None of these polishes are going to be like in your face, bright, bold colors, but in the sunlight and in direct light, you will be able to see those iridescent flakies shining off of your finger. And because of the sheerness of the jelly, it gives it like this crystallized swimming pool, like kind of, I don't know, jelly sandal effect. Does anybody know what those are? For all of these polishes, I did decide to do 3 coats. I feel like that's like the perfect amount of color depth. Like I said, they're not going to get fully opaque. You are still going to see some of the visible nail line, but the jelliness allows for those iridescent flakies to shine through, and I don't know, it's a really beautiful effect in the end. That being said, I can kind of already see that these polishes aren't going to be for everyone. Like, honestly, before doing these swatches, like this type of super sheer clear jelly with the iridescent flakies thing, kind of I felt like it left something to be desired. But thanks to these colors, I have found a whole new appreciation for them. I don't know, I really think they're really pretty. And to me anyway, they really give off like this weirdly nostalgic feel. Does anyone else get that? Anyway, here is Prism Violet in 3 coats. Next up is Prism Cherry. This one is like a salmony, orangey, pinky, corally pink. This one has the same type of flakies that were in the last polish. Actually, you know what? I think all of these polishes have the same flakies. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Anyway, no surprises on a super sheer first coat here. So I think it's really interesting that although the polish is so incredibly sheer, you can still see those iridescent flakies like shining off of the nail. I think it gives it like this really pretty crystallized effect. And there's just something really whimsical and nostalgic about the way these polishes look, and I can't for the life of me put my finger on why. So I don't know if it's that this one went on smoother or if I'm more used to the formula and like how to apply it, but I feel like the second coat on this one went on a lot smoother than the second coat on Prism Violet, but it may just be me. Still decided to go in for a 3rd coat because I really like to build up that dimension with the flakies and the jelly, and it looks really cool. And this color actually reminds me a lot of the pink syrup polish from the syrup polishes video. Like it's that same orangey, pinky, salmony, corally, what color is this kind of pink? For the most part, the flakies do lie down flat, so you're not going to have any issues with like jagged edges sticking out, but you still do need a top coat because it does dry down just a little bit textured. I feel like 3 coats on all of these is the perfect amount of coverage. Like you could still keep going, but I think the message gets across at 3 coats, if you know what I mean. Here is Prism Cherry in 3 coats. Next up is Prism Marine. That's kind of hard to say. Prism Marine. So I could just be imagining things, but I feel like the iridescent flakies show up really well in this polish, like compared to the last 2. Like you can really see like the iridescent purples of the flakies pop through this blue jelly. Like it looks like the ocean. It's stunning. And that's probably where the polish gets its name from. Again, same story with this one. You're not going to get full opaque color out of this. It's going to look
like a blue jelly. Because that's what it is. It's almost like a polygel kind of look, like it's clear, it has a hint of color, or maybe it's like the syrup polishes. So basically the blue of this polish is not going to give you like this bold in your face coverage, it's going to look almost like a stain. Okay, so that might be the world's worst descriptor when talking about nail polishes because stains aren't usually a good thing, but this looks like an ink stain. It is a barely there color with a lot of those iridescent flakies, and it gives off like this summery night sky, oceany vibe kind of mood. I don't know. And again, with this one, 3 coats was the way to go. I feel like it's the perfect amount of coverage, and also I feel like this color would make for some really interesting aquarium nail art. Or as like a background for like stamping fun little ocean fish or something, or a background for like summer constellation nail art, maybe. And here is Prism Marine in 3 coats. Next up is Prism Reef. This color lies somewhere between a sage green and an aquamarine. It is of course a jelly polish, and it has the same flakies as all of the other polishes. So nobody's surprised, first coat is crazy clear. It looks like there's nothing on my fingers except for iridescent flakies. What did surprise me though was how quickly the color started to build up in the second coat. With as sheer as the first coat was, like I was kind of worried that this one wouldn't look like anything even in 3 coats, but look how well it's starting to build up in the second coat going into the third coat. Fun fact, my favorite Sailor Moon character is Sailor Neptune, and this color is a Sailor Neptune color. If I have ever seen one ever in my life, this is a Sailor Neptune color. It is like a tropical ocean. It is so freaking pretty. Again though, it might be a little splotchy in some areas, and I will 100% take the blame for that. I will say it could also be the brush. The brush on these polishes is like the really hard plasticky brush, and there's not a lot of give with it, so I don't know, it makes application kind of difficult, but yeah, it's probably just my application style. I don't know, I'll take the fall for that one. And another thing that really surprised me about these polishes is they do dry down a lot more smooth, like they almost, I'm not going to say they're self-leveling because they're kind of not, but they kind of are. Like some of the patchiness goes away when it dries down, and once you get a top coat on it, it's like magical. Especially when you keep in mind that these polishes were $1, so they probably cost like a fraction of that to actually make. It's really impressive. And here is Prism Reef in 3 coats. And last up for today is Prism Lilac. I don't know that I would call this color a lilac. It's like a really muted out mauve leaning purple. Is that what lilac is? Again, with this one, you've got the same little iridescent flakies as all of the other polishes we've looked at today. Now, even from the first coat for this one, you can kind of see that the polish base color is a lot more smoky than the other polishes today. Like it's still a jelly, but it does give off a more crelly leaning vibe than the other 4 polishes. Or am I imagining things? Like, look here in the second coat, it's almost, I would say it's almost covering my nail line on my pointer finger, which jellies, like, do they do that? I don't know. Because of that slight opacity for this polish, it gives it like this, almost like a gemstone look to it. Like it looks like an opal as opposed to a jelly polish. I don't know, like I don't really know if I would call this one a jelly or a crelly. What do y'all think? Because it's covering up my visible nail line, which is not something I think jellies tend to do. I'm really impressed with this color and this polish and like the entire look in general. Like I was not expecting for this light of a purple to cover this well, number 1. Number 2, I wasn't expecting to get like a gemstone feel out of it. And number 3, I don't think I have a mauve-y color like this that has iridescent flakies in it. So this polish to me is super unique. And also, I just really have a thing for muted out dusty purple colors. I think they're just gorgeous and I need like every single shade ever. So here's Prism Lilac in 3 coats.
So what do you think? Okay, so do y'all remember this video? If you haven't caught it yet, I will link it up here in the card, so be sure to check that out. Anyway, I distinctly remember being somewhat disappointed in very similar jelly polishes with an iridescent glitter because I thought they weren't giving enough payoff or enough color payout, and
Wow.
I think I owe those polishes an apology because I kind of love it now. Wait, okay, so back up. I kind of understand what they're getting at, therefore I love it now. Does that make more sense? So out of the 5 polishes we looked at today, I think my favorite is Lilac Prism, or Marine Prism, Lilac Prism. Because I really have a thing for muted out colors. Add some iridescent flakies and it's like, mwah. And I wasn't really expecting this polish to have as good of like opacity and as good of pigmentation as it did. I thought it was really beautiful. And honestly, I don't think I have a lilac color that has some sort of specialty effect in it. So yeah, bonus. What about you guys? Which one did you like? Or do you like these at all? Like, how do you feel about the jelly polishes with iridescent shimmer that aren't like crazy in your face? Like, these are pretty subtle on the scale of, you know, like iridescent flaky polishes. I know some people might be like a total hard pass on these because, to be honest, I kind of was at first too, but now I kind of love it. So what do y'all think? Leave me a comment down below and let me know. I'm really curious to know what y'all think about these because, yeah, I don't know. Like I said, it wasn't easy for me to understand it either. So yeah, let's talk about it. A little more information about Pochacco. According to the Sanrio wiki, he is curious and a little nosy and scatterbrained, but he has lots of friends. It goes on to note that his height is the size of 4 large cups of his favorite banana ice cream. I love how specific they get with these character profiles because, like, that's cute. Banana ice cream. He likes banana ice cream. So he's 4 cups tall. Also, do y'all think he looks a little bit like Snoopy? Because I think he could totally pass as like a Snoopy distant cousin. Also, in this 2020 character popularity poll, he placed 3rd behind Cinnamoroll and Pom Pom Pudding. Anyway, I'll leave the links to the Sanrio wiki, the character population poll, and the Friend Nail Instagram account if you want to go check those out later. Actually, you should go check those out later because the popularity poll, it has like 83 different characters and it brutally lists them out from number 1 to number 83. So yeah, I don't know, like, what is this guy? Is this a tooth? Have y'all seen this before? Like, somebody explain this character to me because I don't know who that is. And now, as usual, a little bit more information about pricing and availability. These polishes do come in 5ml bottles, so they're pretty tiny. They retail for 100 yen, and they are available at Daiso stores nationwide in Japan. Actually, if you live in a country that has a Daiso, I need you to do some recon for me. I need you to go and see if they sell the Friend nail line at those Daiso stores so that, you know, I can let everybody know. So that's going to be all from me today. Before you go, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. It lets me know that I'm doing a good job. And if you'd like to hang out and talk some more about Japanese nail polish or, you know, just nail polish in general, please consider subscribing. I put out new videos every Monday. Thank you guys so much for watching and y'all have a good week.